Hey everyone, this is your boy Kadri. Today I'm going to show you how to remove a dropper from a seized in a carbon frame. So pretty much everybody had a problem with their carbon frames get stuck with aluminium dropper posts especially. So what we're going to do today, what I'm going to show you today is how to release that. Everybody had problems with dropper posts getting stuck to carbons, but they tried to use oil or penetration lube and all that, but it didn't work. It made things such worse, so they had to really sacrifice the frames and whatnot. Compare this problem to an aluminium frame. Aluminium frames are very simple to rectify, including steel frames. Steel frames, you can just use a heat gun or a blowtorch. It will not deteriorate or damage the structure of the frame. So what we can do with oil on steel and aluminum frame, just spray it in or just pour it in, let it sip for a while. It will sip in between the surface of the metal or the aluminum, so it can move, less friction and all, just like an engine. Engine oil works in heat, so does penetration oil. Now, compared to carbon has a very different way of working. The higher the heat of friction, it will expand, but in a bad way. While you were twisting and turning and pulling, it will expand and stretch. Instead of stretching, it stretch. So instead of letting go of the seat post, it will squeeze it hard and harder. So what we can do is use science. All right, we can't avoid friction, but we can counter it with a method of deforming or shrinking. Now, carbon are like fabric. They're like in between and all. So what we can do is, a lot of people around the world use CO2 or fire extinguishers, dry ice, to cool the frame down to pull it out. But here in Malaysia, it's quite expensive. It's quite costly to use CO2 just for one shot. Here, for a tiny bit of CO2 spray, it'll cost a setback around 200 ringgit just for a few seconds of job. So for those budget conscious, I have the solution for you. Now, most of you have this little thing we call ice pack. The injuries, fever, you name it, we use ice packs for every day. But we can use it for bikes, especially carbon bikes, or your brakes. Some people have problem with SRAM brakes, Avid brakes back then, but this was the way for it. But that's a different topic. Today we're going to talk about how to take this off. Now, what I did was, while this was in here, I'm not going to put it back in yet. We still have to clean it and whatnot, and I need to service it straight away. What I can do is, I've been doing is, I strap this here. I strap this ice pack into here. Had to wait out about half an hour, so that it can sip in. It's slower than CO2, slower than dry ice, but hey, worth a shot. So once the frame cooled down, you can see those cold sweats forming up on the seat post. So what I did was, with the good help of mine, hammer and the grip vise. Now, what we did earlier, just choke the little buddy, choke your butt neck. So what I did, while I had the cold sweats on it with the ice pack still mounted on the frame, I just kind of tap clockwise, counterclockwise a few times. When there's movement, Then we turn the frame upside down, inverted, and then what we did was hammer it down, bam, 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 bam. After three strikes, it's out. Pun intended. For you baseball lovers. Anyway, now what happened here, a lot of people always struggle with this, but yeah. So I found a cheaper method instead of using the CO2 or the dry ice, which can set back about, like I said earlier, up to 200 ringgit to 300 ringgit. So with this, come on, you guys must have an ice pack at home. This one cost me 20 bucks on a local nearest pharmacy. Or you do just chuck it in the fridge. Don't forget to clean it later. You really need to wash these with this pandemic going around. You're gonna put that on your forehead when you need it. Anyway, well, that settles it. Hope you find this tip helpful, sorry. Once I have anything new discovery, I'll let you guys know and we'll share it together. Real efforts, real results.